Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome to the channel. It's your boy, World of Wrestling, here today to discuss about WWE Raw February 3rd, 2025 review. I thought Raw was a very good show. It told a lot of good stories. There were minor stories here and there as well. There's a lot of intertwine of different stories. We got Seth Rollins with his pursuit for CM Punk still, while also him being interested in Roman Reigns. We got CM Punk focus on trying to win the Elimination Chamber. He did tonight. He went ahead and he won the one-on-one match to qualify to be inside the Elimination Chamber. On the post-show for the Royal Rumble, we actually got confirmation that John Cena is being given an automatic entry into the Elimination Chamber match to get a shot at trying to go after the World Championship at WrestleMania by winning this match. I don't see John Cena winning it. I see CM Punk being the guy to win this Elimination Chamber. I don't believe we're going to see John Cena win this match, and I don't believe CM Punk has got a deviated pathway to WrestleMania as the main event. I believe he is going to be the legitimate main event of WrestleMania for the WWE Undisputed Championship. I see that's where it's going to go. Other things that occurred on this show, Punk and Sami Zayn had a great main event one-on-one match. Pay-per-view quality type matchup. I was highly entertained. Thought the work that these two men did was excellent. Had no complaints there. I think that some of the matches were good. Some of the matches I didn't care for. We had Charlotte Flair on the show. She was booed out the fucking building as expected. I felt like she was trying to get us to love her, and yet it failed miserably. Telling us how much she loves the business and so on and so forth, and yet nobody gives a flying fuck about her being in WWE. No one missed her, no one cared about her. We got a little bit of a hint of Rhea Ripley versus Charlotte Flair for a possible rematch for the third time at WrestleMania. I don't believe that's going to be. I think it's going to be Tiffany Stratton versus Rhea Ripley for the WWE Undisputed Championship from the women's side of things. Raquel Rodriguez, Liv Morgan still having beef with Rhea Ripley as well. Io Sky was attacked, and then Rhea Ripley made the save, but then was attacked by Raquel Rodriguez. It seems to me that Io Sky and Rhea Ripley have gained some care for one another. I believe full-heartedly. I think somehow Rhea Ripley is going to convince Adam Pearce to give Io Sky another shot at a qualifying match because of her interaction with the matchup. It ended up being a disqualification. Liv Morgan getting the W and qualifying for the Elimination Chamber match for the women's side of things. I think that would probably be the best thing because she didn't really get a fair shot. I think what happened to her at the Royal Rumble sucked. I think Io Sky should have won the Royal Rumble all hands down. So yeah, I think that she kind of got stiffed in all of that. But let me go into the entire show step by step and go over this with you guys. First thing was first, we had the winner of the 2025 Royal Rumble main event. Jey Uso makes his way to the ring through the crowd. Uso gets an incredible reaction and has the entire crowd yeeting. There are some awesome chants of the crowd. The entire arena appears to be moving their arms. Uso stands in the center of the ring and grabs a microphone. The crowd chants one more time, so he obliges. Uso's music starts up and he leads the crowd in one more yeeting. Uso stands in the center of the ring with the microphone again. The crowd loudly chants, "You deserve it." And Uso looks emotional and listens to the crowd. Uso finally removes his sunglasses and looks at what the hell? Looks at the people, and Uso chant fires up. Uso goes to speak, but the crowd starts to applaud him again. Everyone begins getting to their feet and gives him a standing ovation before shouting "Yeet." This was very emotional. He started crying actually in the ring legitimately. I think this was an actual shoot from his emotional standpoint of things during this promo. Uso says, "Thank you guys for that." Uso says he doesn't know what to say, so the crowd chants "Yeet." Uso says, besides that, Uso wants to talk and rap. He came into the game almost 15 years ago. He tried to make a good living with his twin brother while carrying their family legacy. They did it, and it was cool. Then you get to the pandemic era where with his cousins and the bloodline. Those are good chapters in his career. He was scared and unconfident in his ability to be a singles competitor. Uso admits he didn't have it, but coming out here tonight, he's got it now. Another "You deserve it" chant picks up. Uso says he worked really hard to get to this spot and this position. Uso got here because of the people. He thanks everyone from his heart and family who has been with him every week. Uso says Uso has tears coming out of his eyes. Because of them, he's the 2025 Royal Rumble winner. Yeet. Now he's going to WrestleMania in the main event, and it's just me, Us. World Heavyweight Champion Gunther heads to the ring, and the ring general does not look pleased. Gunther grabs a microphone and paces in the ring, staring at the winner of the Royal Rumble. Gunther says he wants to offer his congratulations, but for what? In reality, he's disappointed. This possible matchup doesn't appeal to him. Uso can't even lace his boots. He is the World Heavyweight Champion. Gunther learned box office and how to make the people think he's barely holding the championship, but the reality is he's always in control. This time, he refuses to do this with Uso again. Uso doesn't know what it means to hold this championship. Gunther is in the process of building a legacy for himself. Beating Uso at WrestleMania doesn't add anything to his legacy. Uso needs to understand his expectations. Beating John Cena, Roman Reigns, or CM Punk would have added to his legacy. The situation is clear. Uso has everything to gain, and Gunther has everything to lose. If Uso chooses him, he forces Gunther into a position where he needs to find something to gain in this. If Uso chooses him, every week will be hell, with WrestleMania being the most horrible display of violence this business has ever seen. Gunther will put him down like a diseased dog. The good thing is Uso has options, so Gunther advised him to consider them before choosing him. Gunther drops the microphone and goes to leave, but Uso stops him, and Uso asks if he's tired. Uso is tired of everyone telling him what he can and can't be. He's just a tag team guy, not supposed to be in the main event or win the Royal Rumble. Uso's going to Friday Night SmackDown and will talk to Cody. Whoever he chooses, he's walking into Mania as the Royal Rumble winner, he guarantees he will walk out as main event Jey Uso with a championship. Yeet! And Uso gets the crowd going before leaving the ring. Gunther sneers at him. And we have an update on Roman Reigns later tonight. Seth Rollins viciously attacked him at the Royal Rumble. There's no other option in this situation with so many. Jey Uso has had a ton of opportunities trying to capture a world championship. Between the world title and the WWE championship with Roman Reigns on multiple occasions, I think it's now time to pull the fucking trigger on this. There is something they can do with Gunther's legacy. Put someone over with a name like Jey Uso and elevate him. And that's the direction they're going to go. I don't care what you got him doing. You can play act. He's going to go to SmackDown and talk to Cody Rhodes about a WWE championship match and weigh out his options. He ain't going nowhere. He's going after the world title. He came very close to winning the world title at Saturday night's main event, even though he was not supposed to win that title at all. They booked him very well. And then they booked him to win the Royal Rumble. There's no way in hell Jey Uso is losing to Gunther at WrestleMania. I'm sorry. If they booked Jey Uso to lose to Gunther at WrestleMania, then what was the point of him winning the Royal Rumble in the first place? There is none. There are other occasions where a Royal Rumble winner losing to the champion going into WrestleMania would make sense. But Jey Uso has had multiple opportunities for a world title match. At the end of the day, like I just said, Jey Uso has had multiple opportunities for a world championship, and if he was to lose, it would mean absolutely nothing. He has to win this match. It's written directly in the script that he is going to win. There's no doubt about it. I don't think Gunther is walking away with the world championship this time around. I believe he's going to deliver on everything he said he was going to do, what he's going to do in this match at WrestleMania. He is going to beat the living shit out of Jey Uso, and he's going to have to earn it to become the world champion. But at the end of the day, he will be the world champion at the end of the match. And that's what I think is going to happen. So yeah, that's just my thoughts on Jey Uso's run and where they're going with that at this point in time. So let's move past that. As I mentioned, it is what it is. Yeah, I think Gunther needs to win this match or lose the match, but go ahead and put Jey Uso through agonizing hell. We also did get an update on Roman Reigns. He may be out for a little while. I think this is all leading up to Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns at WrestleMania in a one-on-one grudge match for night 2. We get an announcement on a video package of a post-Royal Rumble press conference. John Cena announcing that he will be in the Elimination Chamber. Him being there for the last 23 years and it being his last year, they are granting him a spot in the Elimination Chamber where he doesn't have to qualify. So they're giving him an opportunity to possibly win this match to go on to WrestleMania for a championship opportunity. Ludwig Kaiser versus Penta in a one-on-one match. This match went on for quite a while. Penta ends up winning the matchup. Fair match, not too terrible. Penta is becoming a little bit rinse and repeat for the last several weeks. He's been on a winning streak, but nothing too extraordinarily great about Penta so far outside of his in-ring work. Jackie Redmond gets in the ring with Penta and says he remains undefeated on Monday Night Raw. Penta goes to speak, but he's interrupted by Pete Dunne. As Dunne heads to the ring, Kaiser attacks Penta from behind, and Kaiser hits his swinging DDT before leaving the ring, and Kaiser walks by Dunne and sneers at him. Penta soon gets to his knees and looks at Dunne, and Dunne doesn't get in the ring. We find out that JD McDonough actually suffered broken ribs and a punctured lung after a brutal moonsault gone wrong, and McDonough overshot a bit and slammed onto the announce table with a terrifying thud. Next, we go to the Judgment Day clubhouse. Finn Balor bursts in there and says he was gone for 2 weeks following the brutal street fight, only to come back with everything falling apart. Balor angrily gets in Dominic's face and accuses him for stealing his tag team championship rematch and getting JD McDonough injured. Liv Morgan quickly interrupts and she says things may look bad, but she'll qualify for the Elimination Chamber tonight and get things back on track, win the World Championship for the women's division, and also win Tag Team Gold with Raquel Rodriguez as well. And from there, I believe they did mention that they were going to have... and Finn Balor was also... talked about qualifying for the Elimination Chamber match, which Dominic helped out with getting Adam Pearce to give Finn Balor a spot in competing for a qualifying match. I don't think he's going to win, personally. I think he's going to lose. Or maybe he might win, and this might build to a Dominic Mysterio-Finn Balor match at WrestleMania and lead to Dominic Mysterio becoming the new leader of the Judgment Day. That might be a possibility. I think that would be a great spot for Dominic Mysterio to look really good in a major match against a fantastic performer of Finn Balor and have a grudge match build between these two where they're both in the Judgment Day, but eventually this leads to Finn Balor finding out he's no longer part of the Judgment Day during the match at WrestleMania. I think that might be a cool idea to go with. Charlotte Flair greets the crowd. The response is lukewarm. Flair says a year and a half ago she'd have been bothered by the boos. She missed the people. It has been a year and 2 months. She missed the people booing and the people who loved her. Last year sucked. Up until last year, she thought she was unbreakable. Last year broke her mentally and physically. Oh, poor Charlotte. While you come back and automatically get a women's championship match against whoever you want. And things don't change. They continue where they left off. Oh, you poor thing, you. What a fucking joke. The crowd is not being kind. They're booing the shit out of her, and Flair says there were times she thought her knee would never get better. The crowd continues to boo, and Flair says that whether they are booing or wooing doesn't change the fact that she's the greatest WWE superstar in the history of this industry. No. Disagree with that one. Sorry to tell you, sweet cheeks. Flair tells the crowd to boo her now, and this is her passion. She wants to be the very best in the ring. When she was able to walk that aisle and punch her ticket to WrestleMania, she knew she was. And then Rhea Ripley comes out, heads to ring. Charlotte Flair faced Rhea Ripley for the NXT Women's Championship at WrestleMania 36, and at WrestleMania 39, Ripley defeated Flair in a classic match to win the SmackDown Women's Championship. Very good history there. Both of those matches were great, honestly. And that was mentioned here in this promo. Flair smiles as Ripley gets in the ring. Ripley circles around her. A mommy chant picks up. Flair says she was trying to have a moment with Cleveland. Ripley says this is her show. Now, there is the possibility that they will go to war again. When you go to war with someone, that's when you respect them the most. Ripley does respect Flair. Ripley asks Flair to pick her. And the last time they faced each other at WrestleMania, Ripley beat her. Flair admits that happened, but she reminds Ripley that she beat her the first time they faced at Mania. Ripley says she was just a kid then. Flair says she has nothing but time. She'll go next to NXT to see the women's champion and see if she inspires her. And then she'll go to SmackDown on Friday to see if Tiffany Stratton inspires her. Flair wants to feel inspired. Ripley jumped the gun and was impatient. Ripley shows Flair that she is still just a kid. And Flair says she'll see her the next week. Okay. Ripley says Flair does not respect her the way she respects her. Ripley begs Flair to pick her so she can beat the respect into her, and Ripley walks off as Flair stares at her. So Jackie Redmond is backstage from break talking to Sami Zayn. She says Zayn had a rough Royal Rumble when his friend Jey Uso eliminated him. Now he's facing CM Punk in an Elimination Chamber qualifying match. They've never fought before. Zayn says he thought Saturday was his moment, but it didn't happen. Now he'll find another way. Zayn walks over to Jey Uso, and Uso says he wasn't aiming to Zayn and apologizes for eliminating him, but Zayn hugs him anyway. Zayn is fired up that Uso won the Royal Rumble when no one thought he could. Uso tells Zayn to punch his ticket to WrestleMania in the Elimination Chamber. Uso walks off and Karrion Kross walks to Zayn. Kross asks when Zayn will have enough of watching everyone surpass him. Zayn says he is not interested in what Kross is selling. Kross says he can be a problem if Zayn wants it to be. I would really like a Sami Zayn Karrion Kross story build grudge match. That I would actually be intrigued by. I think that would be a great way to bring Karrion Kross into a singles run. It looks like the Final Testament are pretty much done. I don't see them around him anymore. So, I honestly think that would be pretty cool for a one-on-one match between those two. Next up, Women's World Champion Rhea Ripley is walking backstage when she sees Io Sky. Sky says, maybe I'll see you at WrestleMania. Ripley says, maybe. And Sky walks off and is blindsided by Liv Morgan. Morgan kicks away at her before Ripley scares her off. Raquel Rodriguez then pounces Ripley over a road crate, and Morgan Rodriguez laughed before walking off. Next week, it was announced that Rey Mysterio and Logan Paul will be facing each other for a qualifying match for the Elimination Chamber match. Logan Paul obviously is going to win that match. I don't have any doubt in that. We have a tag team match with Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods against LWO, Rey Mysterio, and Dragon Lee. Finally, the New Day pick up a victory with the help of Logan Paul, and they end up winning the match and walking away victoriously. I gotta say, I would be interested in a Logan Paul joining forces with this New Day gimmick, with them being heels now. Logan Paul has charisma. He looks for cronies to do his bidding. He could have that. He's not the kind of guy that works hard. He works smarter. He doesn't work harder. Type of mentality. And having those two with him would help him have an advantage over other people. But I mean, he already does that with his entourage that he has by ringside from time to time. That's how he beat Rey Mysterio for the U.S. Championship in the first place. But this would be kind of interesting. They wouldn't be gyrating, acting like buffoons or anything. Logan Paul would have a faction around him. I kind of like the idea of them putting those three together. But then again, it's kind of reverting back to when Big E was part of the group, so I don't know. It depends on how you think of it. If you think the idea sucks, well, I mean, I'm just kind of coming up with ideas. I kind of liked how Logan Paul and New Day were kind of working together with one another, and I think they would be kind of a nice little twist to things when it comes to a New Day type of faction. So, I mean, they haven't really changed anything about the New Day outside of their villains at this point, so why not add Logan Paul to the mix anyway? They talked about Seth Rollins' vicious curb stomp to Roman Reigns and his status, whether or not he's going to be at WrestleMania. They're not sure yet, but he's not exactly in good shape to be announced that he could be at WrestleMania yet until further notice. Kathy Kelly's backstage with CM Punk. And Punk says the silver lining of him not winning the Royal Rumble is that Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins didn't either. Punk apologizes to Sami Zayn fans because he will beat him, and the pressure's on for the 5 other men that are in the Elimination Chamber because he always wins. He's won an Elimination Chamber, so he always rises to the occasion, especially in a match like this when he's won it before in the past. Yeah, there was also issues with the screen, like flashing black and whatnot, going in and out. The feed seemed like it was out on and off throughout the entire episode, which kind of made it kind of annoying. I didn't really like it all that much. It was probably one of the worst production job that WWE has done on Netflix by far. But creativity-wise, it was very entertaining. Io Sky is gingerly walking backstage after she was attacked by Liv Morgan. Pure Infusion Collective is in the background watching her. Didn't really do anything. They just sat there. I kind of find that interesting with this report saying that took out Kairi Sane months ago, and they're just sitting there watching her walk past her like nothing ever happened. That's kind of funny. We get a video package of Braun Breaker spearing the shit out of the guy. I show speed. He showed speed to be launched out of his fucking shoes. Got over 3 million views on social media. He's also... Braun Breaker was backstage. He's wondering what's going on with him. Him being the Intercontinental Champion, he ain't got nothing really to do. He's been just crushing it. And he's just, pretty much just floating around backstage with a championship that clearly he wants to defend and just annihilate some more people, and yet he's not getting that opportunity. So, I don't know about that. But man, he's been fucking unreal. That Royal Rumble, his performance in the Royal Rumble was just as good as last year's, if not better. Io Sky versus Liv Morgan was next. This is a qualifying match for the Elimination Chamber spot. Liv Morgan, like I said earlier in the video, she wins by disqualification because of Rhea Ripley and trying to even out the odds with Raquel Rodriguez, but she ends up screwing her friend over by mistake. Next up, we had Kathy Kelly backstage with the World Tag Team Champions, the War Raiders. What's next for them? And Ivar says JD McDonough has a new level of respect from them Eric says no one knows what returning from an injury is like. Chad Gable and American Made walk up and say they are not championship material. His boys, the Creed brothers, will wrestle circles around them, and Ivar tells them to be prepared to go to war for the titles, and they walk off. He's talking about the black arts of being a fucking of the lucha libre, and on top of it, he wants to see Ivy Nile become the women's intercontinental champion and American Made to become tag team champions when he makes his way back with the group. There's an announcement that AJ Styles is now part of the Raw roster. We may see an AJ Styles versus Braun Breaker at WrestleMania. That is a possibility for all we know. I'm not sure. But there was mention, Braun Breakers did say, keep AJ Styles away from me during this situation when that was announced. He doesn't want nothing to do with him. So there you go. Seth Rollins is fired up and greets Cleveland. He's having his promo next, just before the main event. He has a lot to talk about. Some things they love and some things they'll hate. First, Jey Uso won the Royal Rumble and punched his ticket to WrestleMania. Rollins is happy for Jey Uso and is proud of him. Rollins likes to see good things happen to good people. Rollins loves it when people get what they deserve. That brings him to CM Punk. Rollins says CM Punk lost the Royal Rumble. His future for WrestleMania is still up in the air. And Rollins loves to see a scumbag, piece of trash, or he was really wanting to say piece of shit, and an embarrassment get embarrassed at the Royal Rumble by getting eliminated by an idiot like Logan Paul. Seth Rollins is being very much like a heel, only he's complimenting the baby faces, which is kind of interesting, and only kind of like being heel-like with the other characters that he can't stand. I find it very interesting, to be quite frank. As for Roman Reigns, the OTC lost the Royal Rumble. Reigns may not make it to WrestleMania at all. The updates have been vague, but Rollins will admit the truth. Roman Reigns is hurt. Rollins knows he's the one who hurt him. For the past 4 years, Reigns has done nothing but hurt those close to him, and Reigns would have done the same thing to him if given the chance. Reigns and Paul Heyman love to talk about their limited schedule, so Rollins did them a favor. Rollins has saved the best for last. Rollins lost the Royal Rumble. It hurts, but it's in the past. There is a future that lies ahead. There are many different paths to WrestleMania. Rollins' path goes to the Elimination Chamber. In a few weeks, he'll battle Finn Balor in a qualifying match. There's a man who needs to take care of business tonight, Sami Zayn. Rollins has some things he wants to tell him about. Zayn heads to the ring. Rollins says Zayn is his guy. They've had a tough few months. The past is the past, and the future is in front of them. Zayn's immediate future is CM Punk. Rollins says the world knows he hates CM Punk. What the world doesn't know is how much Zayn hates Punk. Zayn puts on a good face when the time is right, but tonight is not the night for a good face. Tonight is the night for the fight of Zayn's life. 2 weeks ago, Punk said Zayn wasn't on his level. This delusional narcissist said Zayn wasn't on his level, and Rollins says Zayn is a WrestleMania main eventer. Zayn isn't on Punk's level. He's levels above. I fucking love that comment by Seth Rollins there. That was fucking excellent. Rollins says he needs Zayn's best to keep Punk out of the Elimination Chamber. People like CM Punk don't care about this place. The people or the company don't deserve to be in the ring with Zayn. Tonight is the night for Zayn to put Punk's WrestleMania dreams in the dirt. Rollins cannot wait to see Zayn in the Elimination Chamber. Rollins walks off and Zayn paces in the ring, waiting for Punk to get in the ring. As Seth Rollins is leaving the area to move up to the ramp, the entrance music hits for CM Punk, and they start attacking each other. Very crappy punches. They don't look legit. They look very terrible. That was really awful. They've done a lot better than that when they brawled with one another. It looks so like cheesy, weak as fuck. I did not like it. I thought it was shit. One of the worst brawls I've seen those two actually do. So they get Rollins out of the area of the ring and so forth, and they start the match with Sami Zayn and CM Punk. Like I said before, this match was fucking great. I absolutely enjoyed this matchup. Main event, quality match, pay-per-view quality, honestly. And CM Punk ends up winning the match. Unfortunately for Sami Zayn, he will not be going to the Elimination Chamber matchup itself. So, that sucked. After the match was over, Punk showed respect, shook his hand, and then as he's walking out of the ring, Sami Zayn's attacked from behind, knocking Punk off the apron onto the floor, and Kevin Owens is delivering a double arm pile driver and pretty much knocking the shit out of Sami Zayn, and that's how the show goes off the air with Michael Cole screaming at Kevin Owens saying that he's an asshole or whatever. And that's pretty much it. That was pretty much the ending of the show. Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens look like they're going to be at WrestleMania, but I also would love to see a minor grudge match between a Karrion Kross Sami Zayn, but I don't think that's going to happen, unfortunately. I think Karrion Kross is going to be a motivator for Sami Zayn to tap into that evil side of himself that he never thought he had, so that he can beat Kevin Owens. I think that's where that might lead. And then eventually it will lead to Sami Zayn turning on Karrion Kross and not wanting to do that. And Karrion Kross and him will have a grudge match after WrestleMania, I think is what's going to happen. But that's just me guessing. I'm not quite sure. But overall, this was a good Raw. Very enjoyable content. And I just think that they did an excellent job with this show. Storylines throughout the entire show was fantastic. And there's really nothing you can say that was really terrible about this show, honestly. So at this time, guys, you know what to do. Hit the like button if you liked the video. Hit the subscribe button if you're not already subscribed to the channel. And leave a comment down below. I'll definitely get back to you on that. Thank you guys very much for watching. And have a great night, guys. Bye.